Washington Commanders wide receiver Terry McLaurin is officially looking for a new deal with the team, but the path to get there might be a little rockier than we first thought. I'm Kyle Krabs with A to Z Sports, and it was less than 2 weeks ago we hopped here on the YouTube channel and talked about how much of a no-brainer it would be for the Washington Commanders and their new owners to pay Terry McLaurin if he was indeed insistent upon not playing in 2025 on the final year of his most recent contract extension with the team. We got into things like team culture under Dan Snyder and the opportunity to turn a new page with a new ownership and mark the start of a new organization under owner Josh Harris and the rest of his collection running the team. NFL insider Jordan Schultz has an official update for us that McLaurin is indeed frustrated by the lack of progress on a new deal between the team and McLaurin, who has been super productive despite playing up until 2024 without competent quarterback play during his time in the nation's capital. It is still a no-brainer for Washington and McLaurin to sort something out, but there's one major detail that serves as a blockade in negotiations that might make the path to a new deal a little rockier than everybody hoped and would have expected. Terry McLaurin's set to turn 30 years old this season, which is not old, but it's also not young for an NFL wide receiver. And when you look across the landscape of this rapidly growing salary balloon for wide receivers in the NFL, the vast majority of these contracts are being done with players in the prime of their career. You don't see many examples of receivers in their late 20s and early 30s getting those $30 million per year plus new deals from teams. And some of the league's best have not been immune to the age wall that rapidly comes once you cross the threshold into the age of 30, whether that's Calvin Johnson, who retired at age 30, or Antonio Brown, be it from his own transgressions off the field or not, or Larry Fitzgerald before a revival when moving inside to play in the slot. Julio Jones and DeAndre Hopkins are great examples of two other receivers who were locks for big-time wide receiver production, but yet once age 29 and age 30 crept up, it was a different story for how productive they could consistently be. That has to be the concern here for Washington, because Terry McLaurin's been a good soldier and he's been a highly productive player, but you're not paying a player for what he's been for your team. You're paying a player for what he's going to be. And that's where the inconvenient truth lies for Terry McLaurin at this stage, because perhaps the best profiled receiver who can compare to Terry McLaurin, but has a better resume and signed a contract in the same age window, is Mike Evans, who signed a 2-year, $41 million contract extension with Tampa the same year that McLaurin signed his most recent contract back in 2022. With inflation, that will bring McLaurin's price point up and over the APY of the current contract that he's playing on, but not into the 30, 32, 33 plus million dollar per year strike zone. And McLaurin knows this is realistically his last chance to get one more big contract under his belt. He's going to want to make it count. Washington is rightfully looking at the longevity of that potential investment with a little bit of a side eye. How will they bridge the gap between the two? That's what we have to wait and see.